Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So, I thought it would be fun today to take you behind the scenes and what my process has been and what I'm hoping to change the YieldMight process to be, because right now it is pretty manual and I would like to automate it so that I can concentrate on building on new things, new features, new sites, things that have to do with high income ETFs. So this is YieldMight, and I created this from scratch. The premise of this, if you say you have $500 to invest this time. If I had invested this $500 before the latest distribution of these ETFs, what would my total distribution be? Because it's hard to tell from the distribution dollar amount, because the price of the ETF depends on how many shares you can buy. So this is just a way to compare them quickly. And this has the latest distribution, and then you can see them normalized weekly, monthly, and annually, because we have weeklies and you can get paid every single day of the week, but these are the ones that pay you every 4 weeks. So you can get paid every single week from these two if you buy one from each week. But then you have monthlies, and you can get paid every single week from these as well, as long as you buy one from each week. So that was the premise. When I first had YieldMight, or first conceived of it, we really only had monthlies, and so it was a timing game of like, when is the ex-div date and when can I buy into the next fund so that my distributions can compound as early and as much as possible, because the more you compound your dividends, the faster your portfolio will grow, even if there are diminishing returns with how frequent. It just makes me feel better. So that's a thing I needed for YieldMight, and so I made it. So earlier this week, I went to an AI seminar. It was an AI masterclass, and they showed us how to automate things. So I was trying to set up the Google API. So I actually created this intake email at gmail.com. But it turns out that you actually have to have a workspace in order to automate this. But this is the email that I've been working on this week, because I have signed up for every one of these issuers, their newsletter. So this is what I've been basing everything off of. So if we go to the weekly pay, we have NVDW, TSLW, AAPW, COIW, and PLTW. And this is my YieldMight Excel spreadsheet that I have. So basically I just duplicate it and I rename it to being today's date. And I usually do this on separate screens because it's easier to see. Then here we go. And I've stopped pre-populating these beforehand because it's somewhat easier just to put these in the order that they are in the email, so that I can just go down and manually put these in. And then the distribution amount is over here. So we do .36311, so that's 36 cents for MVDW. .560133, that's 56 cents for TSLW. .144885, so 14 cents for Apple. and .346036 for Coinbase, and then .691743 for PLTW. Then the declaration date is technically today, but we won't have the closing price until the end of the day. So I do the day before when I have it the day of. And we're just going to put that down here. And this is a function that I got from Retire on Dividends. These are not from 6/19, by the way, because yesterday was Juneteenth. So we're going to get these from the 18th, which was the last business day before declaration date. And so we paste the value only here. And then the ex-div date should be, I'm going to go ahead and look at manually at my calendar that my mom always makes. And it should be June 23rd. And then today is 6/20/2025. And these are all weekly. So the next declaration date should be 6/27/2025. And that is how we get really messed up spreadsheets. Not the 28th, because it is on Monday, so it'll be 6/30/2025. And then just copy and paste this. Okay, and then if I was done, I would delete this column, but I do have the yield boost. So we have TSYY, TQQY, NVYY, and the XBTY and YSPY. So we're going to go back to the June 25 YieldMight and TSYY, TQQY, and NVYY, XBTY, YSPY. And so this will be on 6/18/2025, and we copy that down and put this over. I don't think that Google Finance has these yet. So when we don't have those, well, let's get the distributions amounts, and then we're going to have fun. 2, 9. I think it just takes a while for the Google Finance. I don't think I said 29753. Okay, I'm not normally talking and doing this at the same time. So yeah, it just takes time for Google Finance to populate that these are actually tickers that they care about. So 60834 and then .864. Okay. So for TSYY, we have 29 cents, TQQY 17 cents, NVYY 65 cents, XBIT is 60 cents, and YSPY is 18 cents, which is pretty good, honestly. To get the, and since these have the same declaration, well, did I just put that in the wrong column? Yes, I did. Will that work? Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay. 6/18/2025. Okay, well, it helps if you put things in the right column, Amy. Just putting that out there. Anyways. Paste values. Okay. And now we can delete this because we are done for the day. And so because these have, they're both weeklies and they declare on the same day, they should have the same ex-div date. So I think that the Roundhill and the Granite shares have different paydays though. So I only record the declaration date and the ex-div date for right now until we get this automated. So then I just download it and I manually upload it into YieldMight. Now, what I've been working on with the AI is I actually now have a Miss Roundhill at YieldMight.com, which I'm not going to monitor. My intent was to have like an intake email, but you have to pay for that as well. And I was angry enough, like they would only let me start on the business starter plan, which is the middle tier, and I needed I don't want to pay $22 a month if I can pay $12. And so that like their plans go like $7, $12, $24, and like $40, and then like contact us. So I only want to pay like $12 a month because that's all of the use I'm going to get out of it. So my intention was to have like a YieldMight email for me and then an email for that the AI has control over, but I'm cheap and didn't realize what was going on. So this is for the AI, and I've only really done the Roundhill ones. I was starting with Roundhill automating it because they do have their weeklies and they're paying every day. So then what I've done is I don't actually know Python, but I used Cursor and ChatGPT, and we created a Gemini agent. We have a job, and we have a bunch of helper functions. And hopefully when we run this now, we don't need to wait a minute anymore. And the reason why I'm telling it to do it in here is because when it errors, it'll just have the context and it will just do this because sometimes it has to run like a separate command or something. So basically what this is doing is it's going into the Roundhill. Let's choose this one. And then it's finding this image and it's downloading it. And then it's giving it, well, this is the announcement about their new. So they're taking this image and it is getting the distributions per share and the fund ticker. And then I'm using Polygon.io to get the closing price from the last business day. And hopefully if this runs, see, I don't understand why this has exceeded my pro limit, even though I'm on the free tier, because I have not touched this for like an hour. So I don't know why but I might have to start paying for Gemini Pro. But we will see if this works or not. But the intent of this was for it to also produce a spreadsheet, like in a CSV that I can see locally, and then I have set up instructions for it to actually populate this distribution spreadsheet. And when it populates this spreadsheet, I can then set up YieldMight to say any new rows or any modification to a row, I want that, updated in YieldMight or added to the YieldMight distribution. So like the reason why I've been really focusing on this week and not really crawling for new ideas on high income ETFs is that if we can get this to be like the next step after this is, okay, it ran locally. Okay. Okay. So we're almost there. We're like 90% there. But yeah, if we can get this to work locally, and I can get the CSV, and I can see that the distributions spreadsheet is working, then the next step is, because I had to use something that's can only be used locally, because the way that you do things in the cloud is different. But my next step is to actually just create a new service on Railway app and have it just scheduled to run automatically every day. And then hopefully I won't have to and like make different helpers, because this is just for specifically for Roundhill, but I would make it for every one of the issuers and whatever cadence, and then just run them on the days that we're supposed to be getting the information, and that way I can still run it manually if it's like a weird thing that's happening. But this will really help free up my time, honestly. So, but when I had come across this Gemini rate limit exceeded, the first time I discovered that Gemini, the AI studio, has video to or image to video generation. So that's where Tenacity came in. I've had this for like a song that it's been on SunoAI for a long time, but I wasn't sure what I wanted for the thumbnail. So I made this thumbnail where the cat is walking through the garden. I made that image, and then I just structured the rest of this music around that. So this is just like a soft pop ballad thing, or indie pop ballad. And it's about a woman who didn't know anything about personal finance and was overwhelmed by it, and then her journey through just being better at doing her personal finance. So tonight at 7 p.m., I'm going to do my first interview, a live interview with the ambassador of Quan, and I'll put a link to this in the description down below. And this is my handle on X. So hopefully we can get YieldMight automated for real, and you'll just be seeing so many cool things from me once I don't have to be checking so much and doing so much manual things for YieldMight. And let me know if you'd like to have more behind the scenes things. I know that most of you are not programmers, but I thought it might be interesting. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye. So, slight update. I checked after I finished recording, and there was a configuration issue, so it didn't actually update the distributions Google spreadsheet, but it did output the CSV. So it's Maggie. It was at $57, and the distribution was 27 cents, and the next declaration date was the 25th. Oh, like, okay, so it says it's 26th and the 27th, and that the distribution was 6/20 and 6/23. So I think this is still going from today's date and not the date of the email, because the Maggie weekly distribution should have been from the 18th. So there's things that should be changed, because my recording has it at $56.84, but if you look at from the 18th, it should be $57. So that is correct. The distribution is correct. The ticker symbol is correct. The declaration date is not correct, but I'm also not doing it on the day that it was received. And then this should be, yeah, it should be on the 25th, the next declaration date, and not the 26th. So I'm going to make some slight adjustments, but that's really not that bad, honestly, for a first. I'm going to make this a successful attempt. I don't know Python. I don't really know agentic AI, but this has been more successful than using make.com for me. So we are on our way to actually automating YieldMight, and I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.